Alrighty, guys. Welcome back to the Rookies of the Year. We're back after we missed a week. We're adding Gene to the mix. No Josh today, so a little bit of a switch up. But we're going to talk a little bit NFL. It's right around the corner, so we're going to talk that. We're going to talk of Dallas with Micah Parsons, talk a little fantasy, and then we'll have a couple good segments at the end. We're going to do a little wide receiver showdown at the end. So let's just kick things off in Dallas. Micah Parsons probably been the best player on their defense since he's been drafted, and the Cowboys aren't willing to just pay the man what he deserves. So, what do you think? Do you think that this him demanding the trade kind of forces their hand to pay him, or do we see a blockbuster trade incoming? Rob, start us off.
Well, first off, I think Jerry Jones is a clown. They should have paid the man a long time ago for what he's worth. And I also think they're clowns for dragging him in the media, which is the reason why he's requesting a trade now, rightfully so. And he's definitely going to get paid. The question is who's going to pay him. Obviously, now that he's demanding a trade, the Cowboys are probably going to double back and say, "Hey, let's do some negotiations and get it done." But he's already said publicly that he does not want to play for the Cowboys anymore. So we'll see if he stands on business or not. Um, he's definitely going to get paid. I think he's not. I think he's going to end up taking a contract from the Cowboys. I don't think he's going to stand on business.
I'm interested. Gene?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's also going to be the same situation. Like I remember on Friday, on Wednesday on Sport Trends, and then Friday on Prop Stars. Not Prop Stars. I'm sorry. The Pop Off. I had mentioned that I thought it was too late. I thought that at this point, the way that Dallas has dragged Micah through the mud, that it was that he was going to request a trade because they've been so disrespectful. Some of the stuff that came out of Jerry Jones's mouth and even Stephen Jones's mouth just didn't make any sense. If you're trying to negotiate and keep this star player, like, why are you saying the things you're saying? And I said, hey, I think he's going to request a trade. And lo and behold, 15 minutes literally after we end the show, the tweet comes out. He doesn't want to be a Cowboy no more. So we'll see how much he really means that. I agree. I do think that there's going to come a point where money will talk. And I think Jerry Jones will pony up and pay him what he wants. And I think they'll patch up, but it'll be because of money, not because they really, any other reason. I just don't know where else he goes. I love Michael Parsons, so I'm not trying to say he's overrated, but he is a little overrated, right? I mean, the guy can't stop the run. He's a ginormous beast if you just let him just rush to the passer. Fantastic, right? Speed, strength, all that stuff. But he is undersized. He doesn't stop the run. So he's going to need somebody on the other side to basically help him stop, to be able to stop the run. Him being solo now is gonna be a detriment. You might see his stock dip a little bit. So he definitely has to get that deal done, this offseason. But again, I think he'll still be in Dallas. I think when the cooler heads prevail, he'll still be in Dallas. He'll get his bag, but I don't think he's gonna go anywhere.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of this Myles Garrett situation that happened earlier in the offseason where as soon as he requested a trade, not too long afterwards, Cleveland paid up their money to him. But I would love to see him in like one of those contender teams to push them over the edge, like Buffalo or I don't know, maybe the 49ers. But you put him on a team like that could basically might book them a Super Bowl spot, if I'm being honest.
Look out for Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
Pittsburgh would be a good spot because you have TJ Watt on the other side. They fixed that front seven. They got Harmon they drafted this year, who I know Rob isn't a fan of, but I think's fantastic. And he's already
not that I'm not a fan. I just thought you could have went somewhere else with your first round pick. He's a good player, though.
Okay. Anyway, but having said that, he's also stated that he's from the area. He'd like, if he was to go anywhere, he'd love to go back home. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm interested. I mean, you pay Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, you got to pay him. Like, if you're paying Dak Prescott, you got to pay Michael Parsons at the end of the day. Sorry, Jerry. All right. Let's move on to kind of big picture. Top 5 Super Bowl contenders. Just agree with me. We'll start with the easy 4. Eagles 1. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. The order doesn't matter, but these 4.
Yeah.
Chiefs.
No, go ahead.
Chiefs. Yes.
Yep.
Then you got Ravens.
Yeah.
Bills.
Yes.
All right. Give me your 5th, Rob.
My 5th, the Detroit Lions.
Damn.
They should have been there last year, or at least they should have made it further than they did
Yeah.
before they were upset by Washington at home. But they're gonna come back strong. They're gonna have a good year. I don't think they're gonna make it, but I just think the Eagles are better than them. But they should be in the NFC Championship at least.
We got robbed
If
of
they
that NFC Championship last year. No Eagles and Lions. Like I
if
wanted to
they
see that
fail
only.
to make it to the NFC Championship again, that's gonna be a really bad one.
Bucks is an interesting one, Wu-Tang. We'll talk dark horse in a second.
I don't think are the Bucks that much of a dark horse. I mean, they're going to win the division. They have a pretty solid offense, man. 3 top flight receivers, nice young running back, good offensive line, a quarterback who is scared of not anything on the planet. He's fearless. There's not a moment that's too big for him. I don't know if they are a dark horse. I could see them being someone saying, "Hey, they're my 5th spot out of the 5 teams." I could see someone saying that.
They don't have anybody that really is too flashy to me that I think is like superstar caliber.
Mike Evans,
Maybe like 5-6 years ago, but not anymore.
dude. Mike Evans is still putting up.
He's not really flashy. He's just the guy that he comes in and he takes care of his business every time.
And let me tell you
He's not
something.
really a flashy guy, though.
That Book is going to be a problem to deal with for defensive backs for years to come.
I think Luke is going to be a star for sure.
Yeah. This, you know what? I wasn't going to go Bucks. I might go Bucks now
With your 5th team,
because I kind of talked.
What's your fifth
I think
contender?
I talked myself into Bucks. Did I talk myself into the Bucks? I think I did. Thank you, Wu-Tang.
Other than the Eagles, I think the NFC is wide open for that. Whoever is going to be that last spot. We saw that last year with Washington.
I don't think
Like,
it's going to
anybody's
be.
gonna make
I don't
a
think Washington is going to be as scary as they were last year if they don't get McLaurin on the contract.
Yeah, for sure they're not.
No pun intended with the scary Terry bit, but
What's your order in the AFC, though? I know we didn't put it in order, but what would your order be?
for me, you asking me?
Both.
I go. I think the Bills are going to the Super Bowl this year, so I go Bills, Ravens, Chiefs.
I'm going the opposite. The Ravens are making the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, I got Eagles number 1 in the whole league. Then I got Ravens, Chiefs, then Bills. And then the Lions are my number 5.
I agree with Rob. Lions should be
I think
fifth.
I think the
they
Ravens
just
are
kind
going to
of
take
they kind of fell apart at the end of last year with injuries started catching up to them. They have lost a few pieces with like Carlton Davis and Ben Johnson, big names, but
They added a pretty good replacement for Carlton Davis with DJ Reed. DJ Reed is a quality corner, bro.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
And he got because Sauce was on the other side. DJ got picked on, and he still held his own.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So teams a lot of times went after DJ because Sauce was on the other side, and he still held his own. So he's just as good of a corner as they lost. I think maybe even an upgrade. We'll see.
Yeah, I think they get Jahmyr Gibbs. I'll talk about him later, but Jahmyr Gibbs, I think he's going to have a monster season, kind of like a Saquon type year last year.
Yeah, we're going to talk about him for sure.
All right, that was fun. I'm glad we can all agree on those 4 things for once.
That's the only thing I'm going to agree with Gene on.
Give me your dark horse, Rob.
My dark horse is actually Gene's 5th team, the Buccaneers. But after everything that he said about, he's not sure if they're. I mean, I still think they're a dark horse because I think the Eagles and the Lions are clearly better.
I'm
But
not
their
even that
staff-
sold the Bucks win their division this year. I think Atlanta is going to give them a run for their money.
I think so too, but I don't think they will win. I think Atlanta's going to be tough this year, but I think the Bucks still take the division.
I think the Bucks are going to win that division comfortably. And that offense is just going to be so fire. Like the offense is going to be amazing. If
Yeah,
that trio of receivers they have now with Evans, Godwin, and Agbuka.
And they got
Saying,
again good offensive line, good running back, fearless quarterback. Those are all pieces that you need on offense to make a nice run, especially in the playoffs.
the offense shouldn't even be a question.
No,
The defense is more of a question than the offense for them.
and they have a solid defense. So
Defense is going to be good. It's a perfect year to jump into the Buccaneers season tickets.
as we did, bro, right? Joshua, I mean,
Yeah.
Javi will be at a game, to
gotta
watch
go
the
see
team.
my boy Drake May.
Javi will be there. What is that week 12, 11?
It's like November, I think, something like that. But
I'm so glad they put that later in the season because we got Miami second week in Miami. It's gonna be hot as balls when I'm going to that game. It's gonna be ridiculous.
yeah, and it's gonna probably be a loss. Nah,
It's not
gonna be a
no,
loss.
that's a win. That's a win because I think the
lose.
Miami Dolphins are gonna implode this year. But my dark horse is gonna be the Rams, man. I think the Rams could be really scary this year. Health permitting, they got to be healthy. Health permitting, because if Stafford's not healthy, Jimmy G's not going to win you any take you anywhere. But I think my dark horse is going to be the Rams. I love what they did by adding Devontae Adams. Already have a good running game. I feel like for as good as Kyren Williams is, I feel like he still doesn't get a lot of credit, as much credit as he deserves to get as being a top running back in the league. I still feel like he's a forgotten guy, especially I guess. If you don't talk to big time football fans, at least, a lot of them don't really understand how good he's been. So I think they're going to be a scary team to deal with. A team that's won a Super Bowl before, or the quarterback has won it before. And again, we get another year of Puka. We'll see if Puka can take that next step to being the number one guy. That's not an easy transformation for a receiver to make, but hopefully he can. And I could see them being a dark horse that could, if they catch the Eagles at the right time, who knows? So we'll see.
I agree with you, Gene. I think that was the only team that really put up a fight against the Eagles all last year in that playoff run, like down to the wire. I mean, it was a snow game. They were kind of running all over them. That was kind of the theme every time the Eagles played the Rams. But that defense was super surprising. They had some young, really good draft picks that kind of stepped it up last year. And Kyren Williams, like you said, sneaky, 15 touchdowns last year. Definitely one of the best running backs in the league. And I think you finally put Devontae Adams in an offense that he's going to thrive in, and that's going to be kind of self-centered to the kind of style that he plays. He's going to blow up this year as well. So,
and correct me if I'm wrong. I think his old coach from Green Bay, isn't LaFleur his brother, the offensive coordinator in LA?
I'm not sure. Maybe you're right on that.
I'm almost positive LaFleur's brother, who used to be the Jet coordinator, is now the coordinator in LA. So so you're looking at an offense that he was really good in back in, because it's going to be similar offense that was ran in Green Bay where he had all those great years. I think he's going to have a nice resurgence. I think we almost kind of forgot how good it can really be due to the last few years. Kind of like when Randy Moss went to the Raiders and was forgotten about for a little bit and then got back with a real good team in the Patriots and all of a sudden had this resurgence to his career. I think we're going to, not that Adams dipped as low as Moss did at that point, because I think he was even lower, but I think you're going to see him have a huge resurgence to his career. So I look for him I look at that to be maybe by the end of the season, all healthy, one of the best tandems in the league.
Yeah, I think everybody just has a bitter taste in their mouth with Devontae Adams the last few years with him being in Vegas and then him being in New York. He just hasn't stepped up to what what's going on, Manny?
Manny on Candy's house, what's up?
He hasn't stepped up to what we're normally seeing Devontae Adams do, but he's still shown flashes that he's still capable of doing those things.
100%.
And Puka, he's gonna cement himself as a top 5 receiver this year. I think it's like
he needs
back
to
from injury, but he's gonna cement himself as that top 5 guy.
He has to, otherwise then that dark horse thing, forget about it. He has to, but I think he will.
He's such a game changer with how physical he is at the receiver position.
Yeah.
Catch everything that's in his vicinity.
He's got those luscious locks like Rob has.
Rob loves the hair guys. Hair guys.
He loves the hair guys. Agreed. Ooh, I'm sorry. You know what? I've been putting up these things. You know what? There we go. My bad, Rob. I forget he's producing today. I'm not.
Well, we
I
put it
think
up
Rob
at the
has
same
a
time.
5-gallon bucket of Head and Shoulders in his bathtub that has Troy Polamalu right on top of it. Like
I'm not sure if it's true, but I did hear a rumor that he sleeps with a mini Palomalo doll.
I believe it.
Sure.
He like
That's
twirls her hair,
morning
twirls his
routine.
hair like as he goes to bed.
Yeah, and he sucks his thumb.
Instead of putting my face in ice water, I just put my entire head in the Head and Shoulders.
Man, there you
go. What surprise teams that you think that are going to surprise people might make a playoff run and make the playoffs that might not be predicted to be a playoff team this year?
The Chicago Bears.
Ooh.
Okay. I like that pick.
I mean, we've talked about the Bears quite a bit the last few weeks, all the moves that they've made to try to get Caleb Williams some help. So I think he's going to have a big second year. They really shored up the offensive line, so he shouldn't get sacked as much. And he has some solid receivers.
You know, I'm going to say a team. But you know what? Can I backtrack 1 second and then I'll go into answer this? You know what I didn't even think about? I went Bucks, but shame on me. The Packers are going to be really tough to beat this year. I think you're going to see Love take a step up. So go back to like a team that I could see in the Super Bowl mix. I just want to give a friendly nod to the Packers. I think Love is going to be better this year. I love Matthew Golden. I think Matthew Golden's going to be a stud in Green Bay. So I like a lot of things they did. So I want to put them there. But my surprise playoff team that is going to come out of nowhere, I think, and I think Javi will be happy to hear it. Although I think Javi's not going to think it's a surprise because I think he thinks they're going there. Is the Patriots? I like the additions they've made. Carlton, we mentioned Carlton Davis before. Well, now Carlton Davis is in New England on the other side of Christian Gonzalez. Vrabel, who was the coach that anybody that had an opening wanted. There's a lot of things to love about this New England team. If Drake May is the guy, there's no reason why they can't make the playoffs this year. There's no reason, especially if they go in, they're able to add a McLaurin, which would be fantastic for them. I don't know if they're they're not the favorites anymore to land McLaurin. I think it's the Jets now, but if they would have landed McLaurin, then that almost cinches that up because I love everything else that they've done. Adding Travion Henderson, the defense is going to be solid. You got a no nonsense coaches like in Mike Vrabel. I think they're going to be really tough this year to beat, and I do think that they can sneak into the playoffs. If there's another team in the AFC East that makes the playoffs after the Bills, it'll be them.
Yeah, if we spent all that money in free agency, if the Patriots spent all that money in free agency and then didn't improve in some type of way, I'm gonna be very disappointed this year because we signed everybody.
Definitely be better than the Jets.
I mean,
they will be this year.
That's like,
but
it's like
the Jets will.
What?
Stop! Come on. You know what, Javi? You're too biased. The Jets will win a Super Bowl within 5 years. I said this on the pop off last week. I said this on Sports Rants with Abby and friends. The Jets will win a Super Bowl within 5 years. They are headed in the right direction.
In Madden, right? We're talking Madden?
I think you can win in Madden too, but they're going to win in real life.
You're talking real life?
Yeah, real life.
Who's going to bring one first, the Jets or the Yankees?
I mean, the Yankees are a better I feel like you're just trolling right now by asking, but the Yankees are a better organization right now, but the Jets are headed in the right direction. That black cloud is not here anymore. I think Justin Fields is going to be a Pro Bowler this year. I think Justin Fields is going to be that next guy that had a couple of stops, didn't really pan out, and then got to a third stop and bursted on the scene. A la Geno Smith, a la Sam Darnold. This will be the next guy. It happened to the Jets twice. Now the Jets are going to benefit from that situation. There's no reason why it can't be, right? Justin Fields is playing with the best offensive line he's ever played with. Pro Football Focus already has him graded 9th in the league. Best receiving core he's ever had. Best running back core he's ever had. Arguably, maybe we'll see what Aaron Glenn is, but looks like he could be maybe the best coach he's had. No, Mike Tomlin. I can't say that. Mike Tomlin's a fantastic coach, but this guy reminds me a little bit of Mike Tomlin. You know, I think he's going to be able to turn it around. So get in the playoffs while you can right now, Javi. This is your year to get into the playoffs and make some noise.
I'm going to be honest. I look at the Bears and the Jets kind of like insane parallels. Like, never put your money on either of those teams to succeed. Always bet the house that they're going to fail, and you're going to be a millionaire. Because those guys always find a way.
Manny Uncanny, my man. Pots and pans. I love this guy.
Yo.
Write this down. The Jets. He says in 2 years. I'm not that. Listen, Manny, I love you.
Well,
what?
I think Gene is Manny.
No, that might be Manny from work.
No, that's for not winning anything.
No, I honestly I don't know who Manny Uncanny is. I know actually he reached now that we mentioned it, he reached out on Instagram. He was asking if he could be a mod on our channel. So I'll set that up, Manny. I know we were talking about you becoming a mod for the channel, so we appreciate that. You wanted to be part of things over here. I'll set that up after the show. But yeah, so let's see.
My playoff sleeper team, I'm staying here in Florida. I'm going up to Jacksonville with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think you bring in Liam Cohen, you bring in Travis Hunter, you have Brian Thomas Jr., who's another guy who I think makes that leap. Hopefully take Bigsby and Travis Etienne is a good duo.
Wait, that's what you lost me.
No.
Etienne, dude, no. Listen, Etienne's not the guy.
We're going to talk about bounce backs.
It's going to be that. It's going to be no. Here's why. Can I tell you why? That rookie, Tootin, the guy they drafted this year, Tootin. I don't mean to be tooting his horn, but he's going to be an absolute beast. He's huge, breakaway speed. He's elusive as hell. He'll actually be the lead by the end of the season. He'll take over for even Bigsby. He'll be the lead back by next year. He won't be this year.
They go out and they win the AFC South easily.
Who's going to win the AFC South easily?
The South could really be a battle, man. I know a lot of people look at the South as a joke.
You say the Jaguars are going to win the AFC South easily?
It's not going to be easily.
Yeah,
but he's got an argument. They could win the AFC South. Whoa! Look at the AFC South. Look at the AFC South. The AFC South could be a division on the rise, man. You got the Titans with the young quarterback, new coach. If they do the right things around them, that could be a team that could be something in the future. Jaguars do have the pieces. We can't sit here and say that Trevor Lawrence isn't the guy. He's had bad coaching for the first few years of his career. I think Liam Cohen is definitely going to be a guy that if he can't get anything out of Trevor Lawrence, then we know Trevor Lawrence is a wash. But I think he can. Liam Cohen's proven to be like we thought Mayfield was done. And then he got with Liam Cohen, and now Mayfield is back to being where he's looked upon as a top 10 quarterback, maybe even higher.
I'm so big on Brian Thomas Jr. So big.
And Brian Thomas Jr., they added Travis Hunter. And then let's also take a look at the Colts, man. The Colts have been bad for a while, but you know what? Would you really? There's something that says I don't believe it with my brain, but there's something in my heart that says, see Daniel Jones fitting in Indianapolis and maybe turning something around, man. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but there's a part of me that won't be surprised if Daniel Jones plays pretty decent down there. They got some decent receivers, right? They got some decent players. So if he can turn it around and be a decent quarterback down there or over there, it won't be too surprising, man. And who's the team I'm leaving out? Houston. If the quarterback Stroud rebounds from a subpar sophomore slump, they're back in the mix. So it could really be a sneaky good division.
They're the only good team in that division. They're the only team in that division that's going to sniff 500.
You got to look at it this way too. You got teams that are going to all beat the hell out of each other. When you have teams that are all pretty equal, they're going to beat the hell out of each other and maybe split a lot. So you have more of a chance of them not being able to feast on a bad team in the division. I think all these teams could be up and comers. I'm not saying they will be, because I think the Titans are still a few years away. But we could blink, and in like 3 or 4 years, this could be a really competitive division in the NFL. If the right guys pan out and they play the way their football card says, their trading card says, if they can play like that, and if they are able to develop some of the young talent in this division, this could be a division on the rise. I wouldn't be surprised if they are able to turn it around and really do some special things in the league.
I mean,
Like
you
the
made some
Texans?
decent points, but like it's still easily the worst division in the AFC, at least.
It is. And
Oh,
and
it is. It is right now.
Only 10-7 last year. In that
It
division.
is right now.
Probably-
But I'm saying
probably the
I'm not
worst
talking
division
about
of
this.
all time.
I'm not talking about last year. I'm talking about going forward the next few years. I think they can develop. If they develop the talent that's in the division, they can be one of the better divisions in football. Again, I'm not saying they are last year. I'm not even
See
saying
the
they are
vision,
right now.
Rob. See the vision. Look in the future.
Yeah,
Not right now.
I don't know if you, Javi, I don't know if you're trolling me right now, but I mean, like, use your brain, man. Use your foresight. You look in the look in the future. There's a lot of young talent in this division.
Yeah.
And there's talent that was maybe not utilized correctly, is a la Trevor Lawrence. There's young talent that needs to be developed.
There's a lot of
some guys
young
that-
teams with a lot of young talent, bro.
Okay. No, the Steelers going to win the next 5 Super Bowls.
Brian Thomas Jr. is going to have.
maybe 2 of the next 5.
I hope we get to see some
Take a
Travis Hunter
quarterback.
in offense and some offensive gadget plays and actually get some good looks on offense because he's going to be a stud, dude.
That'd be
I
cool
think he's
if the
going to be better
Jaguars-
defensively than offensively.
For sure. He's going to win Defensive Player of the Year for rookies easily.
There's some other guys that will have something to say about that. But
Yeah,
he'll be in the mix.
Abdul Carter, Homer.
I'm not a Giants fan. You know that.
I know Rob is, he's a little Penn State guy, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Those guys can do no wrong.
Best up and coming quarterback.
Other than Jaden Daniels, that's the obvious, but
I mean, that doesn't even count. He's already established.
He's such a Penn State guy that he wishes the Steelers could hire Jerry Sandusky still.
I do.
Rob, don't say you do that. He
What?
baited you.
Hook, line, and stinker.
Manny said something about best up and coming young quarterbacks. Just give me one.
Is Fields still going to be considered young?
Oh my God, no!
Because he's only in the league 4 years.
Did he get
He's
a
like
contract
26
extension?
already.
He will by the end. He signed for 2 years with
Guys
the
that are on
second year.
rookie contracts.
Guys on
Young
rookie
bounce
contracts.
back season.
He'll be better
Bryce
this
Young.
year. He'll be
Oh,
better
say
this
again?
year.
Drake May might be the best up quarterback, honestly.
Over Jaden Daniels?
In my eyes, Jaden Daniels is like already established.
He had 1 year, bro.
Well, other than Jaden Daniels, Drake May, because obviously Jaden Daniels.
And what you're doing is you're saying the same thing people said about Stroud going into last season. And then what did Stroud do last year? He shit the bed.
Correct.
So it's only 1 year, bro. He's only going to get better or get worse.
But I do think Jaden's better than Stroud.
I agree.
Easily.
I think Stroud's gonna have a fantastic year.
I think he has a bounce back year too, but I just think Daniels is better than Stroud.
I don't see it. I saw that Texans team just not be able to put up points last year.
Bo Nix, that's my guy, Manny. Bo Nix. I love me. That's who I would. If my team was going to draft a quarterback that year, that's who I wanted was Bo Nix.
Is that Josh up there?
Josh would have probably the same answer, but Bo Nix is. I think Bo Nix has got it. I love Bo Nix.
They have a great defense, great offensive line. He has good wide receiver core.
He has a decent wide receiver core.
Decent. You're right.
Sutton is got overpaid, and he's a little overrated.
But they have a great offensive line. You put any young quarterback with a great offensive line,
I do like the offensive line.
they're top 5 offensive line in football, but nobody talks about them. But yeah, it's obviously Drake May. I think that's clear. The guy has it all. He has the rocket arm, can run outside the pocket. Just get him Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, he's got everything. He's got absolutely everything, even a handy from Javi.
I'm not getting baited like Rob. All right, which team are you not buying their hype that has been hyped up all year that you're just not seeing it?
Let's Cowboys. Every year. Same team every year. I feel like this is a default answer, though. I feel like I took the easy way out. A team always has hype, and they're never going to do anything.
They're the Yankees of the football world. Even when they're not good, we put them on the. I'm a Yankee fan, but the Yankees are always put on this pedestal. Even when they're not good, they're always expected to win. That's the Patriots. I'm sorry, that's the Cowboys.
They overpaid
And they both
the
have
hell out
annoying
of
ass
Dak
fans.
Prescott.
Okay.
CeeDee Lamb got the money he deserved, but Prescott is heavily overpaid. And now Micah Parsons, who they should pay, they don't want to pay. And their defense, the defense is just soft.
They also don't have a lot of names on that defense too they need to go get themselves one of these Vita Vea kind of guys to stuff in the middle, to put in the middle of that defensive line. That's what they really need to do. They got to get a guy that's not flashy, but is just mean as nails and put him in the middle of that defensive line and just take up space and let the other guys buzz around and do what they need to do. If they could add something like that to that defense, you would see that defense just marketably get so much better. But that's they got to do something with it. My team is actually Pittsburgh Steelers. I think they won't even make the playoffs. I think they got a quarterback who is a me first guy. Some of you guys know I have a friend that I call me first. He's in my phone as me first. He might be on the screen with us right now. And you know what? It's horrible for a football team to have that. I don't think we're at a spot right now where they got to go one way or the other. I actually think they know they only got him for 1 year, right? The quarterback. I think this is one of those things where, hey, we're going to tank, but let's bring a guy in that's going to sell tickets, make it look like we're trying. But let's go get our quarterback next year in the draft because we don't like these other quarterbacks. We want an Arch Manning or a Klubnik or one of these other guys. I think what they're doing is let's make it look like we're trying. And we'll try to win some games, but we're not really going to win some games because we would like to be able to get our hands on one of these other quarterbacks next year in the draft and still look like we're actually trying to win games because we're bringing a guy in that's on his last run who's an all-time great, and it's going to look like we're really trying to do the right things. I think they've already had this discussion with Tomlin saying, hey, listen, try your best, but just if it doesn't work out, we're going to get our guy for the future in this next draft. And I really do think that it's going to be a horrible year in Pittsburgh, starting with week 1.
No, the Pittsburgh Steelers are not making the playoffs. I'm sorry, Rob.
Hold up. First of all,
prove me wrong, bro.
The Steelers are 100% beating the Jets in week 1.
Forget about week 1. Forget about week 1. It's not happening, but forget about week 1. Tell me their road to the playoffs, Rob. Tell me their road to the playoffs.
Bro, do the same shit they do every year. I honestly, I wouldn't even be mad if you are right. Because I think it's about fucking time that the Steelers tank. They should have tanked years ago. I just don't think this team is capable of tanking. They're going to somehow find their way into 9 wins. And then
they will have a top 10 pick this year.
I hope to God you're right, honestly.
6 wins.
I've been praying for a top 10 pick for the last 5 years.
Listen, they're not going to go 2-15. They're not going to be tanking to like 2-15. They'll win 6 games. But that's where Manny, gee, we were on the same page until you went crazy. Steelers will win the wild card, and that's it. They're not even going to make the wild card, my man.
Manny, the Rams are making the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. I disagree with you there, Manny, too. I think the Rams are going to be tough this year. A lot of teams in that division are on their way, kind of like, I feel like we've already seen the window closing as we speak for San Francisco. Seattle's kind of undergoing some changes. We'll see what they do. Well, that's Raiders. Different. That's a different conference, but that's the AFC. But and in Arizona, we'll see what they can do. Like I just don't trust any of those other teams. The only team that I can sit here and say I trust with the players they have on that roster is LA.
Who's making the wild card with the Steelers, bro?
Patriots. Patriots will win the wild card over the Steelers.
And the Bengals.
Bengals, yeah.
The Bengals, maybe.
The Steelers are coming in third place at minimum. I mean, at most.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll have more wins than the Browns, but that's not saying much.
They play in the best division in football. Third place in the best division in football isn't really that bad.
I don't know if they're the best division in football right now. I love the AFC West.
The AFC West.
All right. Listen, the AFC North has 2 really good teams. I'm not really sure what the Bengals are. I don't know what the Bengals are. They don't have Hendrickson. Hendrickson's not back yet.
It's definitely the NFC East. It's the best division in football.
The division that might be better than the AFC North is the NFC East, like Javi said.
I don't even know about that. What do we think about the Giants? What do we think about the Cowboys? So yeah, you got 2. It's really top heavy with the Eagles and the Commanders.
The Cowboys are like a 9-win team.
Yeah, that's your third place team is a 9-win team.
I don't see them getting 9 wins this year, but you could be right. I wouldn't bet against it.
They got Dak Prescott, bro. They're gonna win like 9 or 10 games, and they're gonna flame out in the first round.
Maybe.
So your ideal season this year, Rob, is to go under 500, get a top 10 pick, lose Mike Tomlin at the end of the season?
Oh, I don't think Tomlin's going anywhere. If they get a top, unless Tomlin,
any scenario where Mike Tomlin is gone is like, thank you, God. Please,
you know what? You'll miss him when he's gone, bro. You'll miss him when he's gone.
You think even if they tank, or even if they're top 10 or bottom half of the league, they'll keep Tomlin?
I think if they win like 6 games and they see, okay, the quarterback wasn't the right guy. That was a front office move, stuff like that. That'll be their reason to keep Mike Tomlin. I think Mike Tomlin's part of the plan. He's got a Super Bowl. He wins games. I think he's part of the plan. Only thing that keeps him from being there next year is if it's really bad. I'm talking 2, 3, 4 wins. If he gets 6, 7 wins and they get a top 10 pick, I think he'll be there next year. I think they say, listen, he's got too much in the bank. We're starting. We got, the quarterback didn't really work out, and we're moving forward. I think he could keep his job.
The
Any scenario where Mike Tomlin is gone is my favorite scenario. I'd be happy with a 1-16 season if it means he's out the door.
The Steelers just don't let coaches go. They let them age, like Dick LeBeau as defensive coordinator for like 60 years.
Well, the Bengals tried him out, and that didn't work out.
This guy's been running the same schemes for the last 12 years and thinks it's going to work.
Well, I get it, adapt or die, but you know what? You'll miss him when he's gone.
No, the hell I won't.
Hey, the devil you know is never as bad as the devil you don't, right? So you don't know what you're going to get next. They've been such a stable organization and a traditional organization because you know why? They don't change coaches every few years. They don't have a bad year and say, okay, we're changing coaches. Teams have bad years sometimes. Sometimes you gotta reshuffle the deck. Sometimes you gotta restock the shelves, and that's not always the coach's fault.
And where's
I think they're at a time.
Where's the stability got them? Nowhere.
All right, we'll see. I think if they win at least 6 wins, he'll probably stay. And I think that's where the head is. 6, 7 wins, 7 at the most.
And as long as he's on the team, we're not going back to the Super Bowl. It'll never happen.
I mean, I'm hoping you don't go back to the Super Bowl. So
Well, then, yeah, you should be hoping Mike Tomlin stays on the team.
yeah, maybe I will.
It's like when we got rid of Belichick and Bob Kraft already had like a year beforehand had had Gerard May. I almost said OJ. Gerard Mayo.
Yeah.
Already basically primed for the next head coaching job for the Patriots, and then that was a debacle. It's like you don't want to get yourself in that situation when you have a guy that's been coaching for 20 years already, like the Steelers have. So
They also did really didn't give Gerard Mayo a shot, bro. Be fair, they really did not give him a fair shot. They gave him a shitty. Listen. I'm not saying he's going to be a great coach. I'm saying they didn't give him a great. For all the shit they talked about, Kraft saying, "Oh, I knew 15 years ago he was the guy to lead us. Eventually, he'd be a head coach here, and he'd be a great head coach." All the nonsense Bob Kraft spoke about. You'd think that he was the one giving Bob Kraft a hand job, and it was absolutely asinine to say all the things that he said before the season. Give him only one shot and then fire him when you handed him a shitty team to begin with.
There had to be rumblings in the locker room. They just
maybe there has to be something else because he got a raw deal. They didn't even give him a chance. And again, I'm not saying he would. I'm not saying he was the guy. I'm saying we don't even know because they didn't even give him a fair shot.
I thought he was awful.
Again, I watched him as much as a football fan would watch him. I didn't watch him like you would watch him as a Patriot fan, where you dissected every little thing. So, you would know better than me because you watched them, I'm sure, more intently than I did. But for all the stuff they spoke in the beginning of the season, to not even give him a second shot, and they didn't give him a great team to begin with, I feel like they didn't give him a fair shot.
You can just see the night and day difference of a coach that's been doing it for a long time, like Vrabel.
Well, yeah, I think once they realized Vrabel was going to be their guy, that's when it was like it didn't matter. I think if Vrabel was like, I don't want to coach this year, they would have kept Gerard Mayo.
Yeah, maybe Vrabel's just making Gerard Mayo look like.
I wouldn't be surprised if they already had a deal with Vrabel before they even fired Gerard Mayo.
Probably
it wouldn't be like on Kraft to do some sneaky shit like that. He's done it before.
A hand job agreement,
maybe.
Not a handshake.
No, it was probably a hand job agreement. He's done it before with Belichick in the first place.
That's how he likes to lock in his deals, dude.
Hey,
whatever. People have different closing ideas.
I'd prefer mine from a time masseuse, but if he wants it from a 40-something-year-old head coach, but teach his own.
You don't get 6 banners from nothing, bro.
All right, let's move on.
Fantasy football season.
Fitzmagic as my coach than Mike Tomlin.
You'd probably win a couple more games, but I'd also want to tank so I get that better quarterback because I couldn't handle working with that diva.
We'll brush on a little fantasy football. I know TJ and Buff usually handle that, but I wanted to just do RB1, wide receiver 1 predictions. So let's talk running backs. Which workhorse running back is going to finish RB1 this year?
Finish, or he's going to get drafted RB1?
Finish.
Jahmyr Gibbs. Gotta be Jahmyr Gibbs. He had a monster season last year. He's going to have another monster season this year. The only person that could stop him is Saquon Barkley.
Or Montgomery.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Remember, they split carries over there. So if Montgomery's hot at times, it's going to limit what Gibbs does.
How many games did Montgomery miss last year?
I'm not sure. Offhand.
I think only a couple.
Yeah, I think it was like 2 or 3.
And
sometimes it's all
Gibbs still had like 1,400 yards, and then like another 500 or 600 receiving.
He had 20 touchdowns.
So even if Montgomery is there, Gibbs still might put up 2,000 yards.
So we're looking at who's going to finish RB1, which translation is really kind of like who's going to be RB1 going into next season, right? Kind of. If you think about it, right? I say Ashton Genty. I think Ashton Genty is going to have such a crazy season for a rookie that I think by next year he's going to be everybody's top pick. The consensus top pick, I should say.
I don't think you're crazy. about that, but I'm not buying it.
Like I think Ashton Genty can finish as like a top 3 fantasy running back this season. And then going into next season, you would buy into the hype and put him at number 1. But I don't think he'll finish number 1 this year.
That's a good point. That's a great point, actually.
Saquon Henry
He's gonna
Gibbs.
have a monster season.
Saquon Henry Gibbs. He's not hopping any.
You
of
know
his
what
guys.
though? When is it gonna like? So
Genty can be 4.
I love Derrick Henry. So don't take this as a knock. I love Derrick Henry, but I feel like the last few years, because he's been in the league a long time, it's not like he's just got here. The last few years, I'm waiting for the age to show up. So like eventually it's got to show up for a running back. And I remember going into a couple years ago, I'm like, it's probably going to show up this year. I'm going to try and stay away from the draft. Year after that, probably going to stay away from the draft. Then even last year, I ended up getting him. He was like I think he was like my 3rd or 4th pick. I forgot where I picked him. But and I'm not thinking, all right, well, hopefully he stays healthy this year. And he had a great year. So, I didn't think of Derrick Henry only because I keep waiting for him to show the age. So far he hasn't.
It's those
Eventually
offenses.
Eventually, you're right. Eventually it's gonna happen, but
he had 1,900 yards last year? 1,800, 1,900?
Some crazy number. So
To me, that's the best offense in football. Just gonna run it down your
The
throat.
Ravens? Oh,
For sure.
easily. Well, what they did
Most
to my
balanced.
team in that wild card game was like, it wasn't even fair. We didn't even belong on the same field as them. It was embarrassing.
Well,
that's kind of what I
That's
see
why
with
it's more.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
They had like 350 rushing yards on us.
That's awful.
Yeah.
But I see Jahmyr Gibbs. I think Dan Campbell kind of taking the reins of this whole thing with his 2 coordinators leaving. I think they're going to be running the hell out of the rock next year. I mean, they're a great offensive passing team, but I think Jared Goff, you kind of got to, he's getting up there in age. You kind of got to lean on those young guns that you have, especially in the backfield with Jahmyr Gibbs. So I think he's bound to have just a massive breakout year this year. But
I think I'm blanking on his name. Who was the offensive coordinator last year? Went to Chicago.
Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson. I think Ben Johnson is the next Josh McDaniel.
That he just can't coach. He can't do head coaching.
There's just something about him that again, no proof. Just something about him that says to me, he might be back in Detroit. Like the same way Josh McDaniels kept going back and forth when he had a failed opportunity as head coach.
Yeah.
I can see that being Ben Johnson.
I can see that being Aaron Glenn.
Actually, I love what Aaron Glenn has done. So I know you're just doing it to troll the Jets, but listen, he learned under Parcells as a player. He learned under another guy who's a very much a Parcells guy. I love the way he's handled camp. So yeah, I don't agree with that. But Ben Johnson, again, and I could be wrong. Aaron Glenn could be out by week 10. Who knows? But Ben Johnson, something to me just screams Josh McDaniels.
I think he's going to fit well with Chicago, just with the way that Caleb's play style is and just the fun way of playing that or of calling plays that Ben Johnson has. So I think that kind of like off the cuff type of offense is going to work out for them.
I mean, hopefully Chicago, for Chicago, because they've been bad for so long, it'd be nice for Chicago to have like a top team, but I don't know.
They're not going to break that. They might be better than Minnesota this year.
Man, Minnesota, I think, takes a dip this year a little bit. I don't trust J.J. McCarthy. Even coming out of the draft, I wasn't a big J.J. McCarthy guy. But you hear rumors that Chicago might have wanted to pick him first overall. So we'll see.
All right, let's move over to Wyatt.
Hey, can I ask you one quick question?
Yeah.
I want you to rank these three pass rushers: Micah Parsons, Myles Garrett, T.J. Watt. Rank them 1 through 3.
Garrett, T.J., Micah.
Okay. Because Rob says Micah. I mean, Rob says T.J.'s not as T.J.'s better than Garrett. So just want to make sure.
That's not.
Yes,
not
I would say it's so inaccurate. It couldn't, But I mean, he's wearing the jersey. That's probably why.
It's TJ, then it's Miles, then it's Micah.
I wanted to
move
see
on.
Miles get traded and actually go to a good team this year because that guy needs to go win a
Miles
championship.
Garrett.
Miles Garrett is the king of almost sacking the quarterback. He's the king of predictive stats, but he doesn't
Miles
actually
Garrett
produce.
is the most scariest individual in the NFL, bro. You ever see him like just walk around the field with like a shirt off, bro? He is so intimidatingly like, bro, he looks like a freaking monster.
Yeah.
Oh, why don't you go suck him off?
Rob. That was so out of left field.
Yeah, it's so out of character for you, Rob.
We're a kid-friendly show, dude.
I'm not even gonna give that a response because he's like an infant. Let's move along.
Wide receiver one fantasy
like you're
prediction.
infatuated with Miles Garrett, bro.
I'm not. I just think he's an absolute monster.
Have you ever seen him walking around the field without his shirt off?
Yeah, he was doing it in camp the other day. He's talking to
his compression shorts.
Yo, he was sitting next to was it Shador Sanders? It was one of the quarterbacks, and he was like 3 times the size of whoever it was. I think it was Shador. And I'm like, this guy would eat Shador for lunch. Can you imagine him just barreling down and hitting you, bro?
Yeah, like the shit he did to fucking what was your guys? Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, when he hit him with the helmet. What a punk.
Mason Rudolph probably deserved it.
Bro's so big and strong, but he got to hit people with a helmet. He's a pussy.
You got to use it all to your advantage, bro.
All right, let's use his fist.
All right, wide receiver one fantasy prediction.
It was Mason Rudolph would have beat his ass.
Rob.
Mason Rudolph. Why are we even talking about Mason Rudolph on any podcast is beyond me. Let's talk about has-been backup court. He's not even he's a has-been backup.
Mason Rudolph would be QB1 on the Jets.
Shut up.
You know what? You have no credibility, bro, if that's what you're saying.
Bro, that Linsanity run that Mason Rudolph had a couple years ago.
Wait, are you comparing Mason Rudolph, any kind of good game he had, to Linsanity, which took over the sports world? Wait, are you really comparing those two? Like, legitimately, or just pulling and joking?
That last 5 games of that season is better than anything that any Jets quarterback has done this century.
Wait, I'm not saying that. Very well could be. Are you comparing it to Linsanity?
Yes, to the greatest player in Knicks history.
Bro, no, stop. Listen, I know that only lasted for a little bit, but Linsanity took over basketball. Not just New York. It took over basketball. Maybe it's young to realize, but I really remember. Bro, Linsanity, he was beating up players like Kobe during that run. He had a game winner over Kobe.
He had a nice 10-game run, and it got a bunch of publicity because
it was more than 10 games. Javi, just move on because he's really embarrassing himself. And I want people to understand he's probably just trolling me now. He does know sports. He's probably just trolling right now, everybody. So don't think this is really that he just doesn't know what he's talking about. He probably does. He's probably just trolling. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
He's trolling. Is like the dumbest thing ever, bro.
I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. It was definitely dumb because he wasn't as great as it was. But the hype of Linsanity was they have a 30-30 about it. So come on, bro.
It's the fact that he's an Asian kid from Harvard busting everybody's ass in the NBA.
Yeah. Whatever it is.
What's there not to like about that?
Yeah, what are you, a xenophobe? Right. Let's move on.
You take an Asian kid, you put him on the Knicks, and he has a nice 8-game run for a team that's been awful in the biggest
market. More than 8 games, my man. It's more than 8 games. But let's go. Let's move on.
12 games?
I'm not going to
tell me why you think DK Metcalf is going to be wide receiver 1.
DK Metcalf, wide receiver 1.
I know that's your pick for wide receiver 1.
Nah, actually, my pick is George Pickens. No, wide receiver 1. I mean, it's got to be the same guy. Honestly, I don't know how you could not pick Jamar Chase.
It could be Jamar Chase, but I can see why you don't pick Jamar Chase.
Who would you pick?
I personally like. So let me say this. I personally like Jamar Chase. If I was picking receivers, forget about just fantasy, just in general. I like Jamar Chase probably than maybe any other receiver in the league. But there's an argument to be had that Justin Jefferson is RB1. You make it seem like who else would you pick? there's an argument for Justin Jefferson to be wide receiver 1.
I think Jamar Chase is easily going to have better numbers, though. And this is like a fantasy thing.
He won't be easily, but he could. But it's not like a no-brainer.
Jefferson's stats are going to dip.
They probably will, but it's not a no-brainer that it's Jamar Chase over Justin Jefferson.
I mean, it's never a no-brainer, but
Oh, all right. Well, thank you, because you said it was.
I don't see how you could realistically think that Jefferson's going to have a better year than Chase.
The only reason why I would agree with you on that is because of the quarterback situation. We don't even know what JJ McCarthy is.
Well, yeah,
but the talent level is there.
That's why I'm saying that. If you put Justin Jefferson with Joe Burrow, then I think he would probably be wide receiver 1 too.
Now let me ask you a question: does Justin Jefferson make JJ a player?
I think JJ's going to be good. I do.
Okay,
but I
personally don't think he's going to be that good. But if he is he getting? Is he going? If he is good, is it because he's good, or he's getting carried by Justin Jefferson? That's my question.
I mean, they have T.J. Hawkinson, they have Jordan Addison, they have all those guys. I think.
Yeah, they got
good.
Aaron Jones. I love that team. Aaron Jones is another guy. You're waiting to see when he's going to show his age, but so far he hasn't. And they also have the kid from San Francisco, Jordan Mason. I think
JJ McCarthy could come in and have like a Brock Purdy type of year.
Exactly. You just have that great system around you.
And O'Connell's a fan.
Good. How could he not look good?
O'Connell's a fantastic coach for a young quarterback.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go Nico Collins. I think that just with them probably missing Tank Dell, missing Stephon Diggs last year, that team they throw the ball so much. I think that Nico is going to be. I don't think it's going to be too much more than Jamar Chase, but I think that it's going to be that 1 and 2. Jamar Chase number 2, Nico Collins number 1, wide receiver 1 next year. I could see it.
Yeah, I mean, especially if he comes out of that sophomore slump, Stroud, that's gonna be his guy.
The guy throws the ball at least like 40 times every single game. You gotta think 15 of those are going to Nico Collins.
And is it fair to say that the connection with what's his name? Who's the receiver? I'm blanking on his name. Your guy now.
Stephon Diggs.
Could it be safe to say that him and Diggs just didn't really build a connection, and he tried to maybe force it a little bit to Diggs, and that could have hurt him last year?
Yeah,
maybe.
But before Nico got hurt last year, he was wide receiver 1 for a little bit of last year. There was a time that he was the most points per game wide receiver in all of fantasy football last year. So I think he's going to carry that over.
Sure. I think CeeDee Lamb is going to be near the top.
Could you imagine CeeDee Lamb with like a Patrick Mahomes or a Josh Allen?
I don't see him with a quarterback like that.
But I'm saying, could you imagine the numbers he could put up if
put him with Justin Herbert?
Oh, that is filthy. That is filthy because Justin Herbert, we haven't even seen what he really can be.
I'm on the Chargers train this year for sure.
I think they're gonna have a good year this year.
Amari and Hampton, I think they're gonna run the rock.
Mm-hmm. Offensive line's decent.
McConkey, gonna be a top 10 receiver this year.
You think he goes up to top 10 this year?
I just think he's gonna have that volume.
You think Malik Neighbors does with Russell Wilson? He put up.
I think he catches 115 balls.
Yeah, I think Wilson's going to feed him because he has to.
Yeah, there's no other choice.
Yeah,
because we saw the numbers Neighbors put up last year, and that was with a bad quarterback situation. I'm not saying it's much better, but at least Wilson's more reliable than the guys they had.
And Brian Thomas Jr., man, I think he's going to score in that 18 to 20 touchdown range this year.
You think 20 I'll go double digits, but you think 18 to 20?
All right, maybe not that much. Maybe I'm
I was
glazing.
going to give him like 12 to 14. There's other guys that can score there, man. There's other guys that can score.
I saw what Liam Cohen did last year with the Bucks.
Yeah.
They don't even run the ball at the goal line. They throw it
Yeah,
every
but
time.
no, they had good backs in Tampa too, and they still didn't. You're right.
No,
They got Bigsby,
but all right, we're gonna. I mean, the show Rookie of the Year. We got Rookies of the Year. We got Gene on here, so let's pick our Rookie of the Year prediction. Start us off, Rob.
We're gonna start defense. I mean, I think this is the obvious choice, Abdul Carter. I think he's going to come in and have a monster season for the Giants. He's going to be the star of their defense, and he's going to live up to the hype.
Offense.
Emeka Egbuka. It's a tough choice because their offense is just so loaded. But Chris Godwin is going to miss some time. That could be a team that gets 3,000-yard receivers. But I mean, it's going to be tough for him to get the numbers. But I'm going to go with Egbuka.
Penn State guy picking an Ohio State guy. Just want to note that.
Finally did something against the Chalk Talk.
Unlike you guys, I'm objective with my takes.
You're the least objective person I've ever met, bro.
I swear.
You're less objective than that idiot Skip Bayless.
Bro.
Anyway, I like Abdul Carter, but I'm not ready to crown him yet. You know, I remember when the Giants drafted Kayvon Thibodeau, and we heard how great Kayvon Thibodeau was going to be, and you know we're still waiting to see it. We could be still waiting for Abdul Carter. You know, who knows? We'll see. But I love Malachi Starks in Baltimore. They're going to play him in corner. They're going to play him all over the backfield, man. They're going to play him in corner. They're going to play him at safety. You might see him be like this Ed Reed kind of player coming out of Georgia. I think he's going to be an absolute stud in the backfield. He's going to be a guy that's going to be a perennial Pro Bowler for the next 10 years, kind of like Ed Reed. And you know what? Opposite Kyle Hamilton, I think it's a perfect fit. I think Malachi Starks comes in from day one and is an absolute beast in that backfield for Baltimore. Perfect fit for what they try to do. And again, they're going to play him all over the place. They'll have him at corner at times. They might have him at slot at times. They're going to have him at safety at times. So you're going to always have to wonder where is the same way you had always wonder where is Ed Reed. Quarterback always playing the Baltimore Ravens back then had to say where's Ed Reed. You're going to be saying where's Malachi Starks as a quarterback. So yeah, it'll be Rob's problem for the next 10 to 12 years. In the AFC North. My rookie of the year for offense is going to probably be a little bit obvious, but I have a backup too that I love. I'm going to say Ashton Genty, just because I think they're going to feed this kid the rock an enormous amount, and he's going to have the ability to really just stack yards, stack touchdowns. I see him being like, Pete Carroll loved himself beast mode up there in Seattle. I think he's going to be his beast mode part 2. I think he's going to love just feeding the rock to this kid. But I also do want to give an honorable mention to Matthew Golden in Green Bay. I think he's going to have a shot to build right from day one with Jordan Love and be Jordan Love's number 1 target. And they're going to be good this year. Like we said earlier in the show, and I think Matthew Golden is going to be a major part of that. I love the addition of Matthew Golden in Green Bay. I think him and Jordan Love are going to be a fantastic combination for years to come, and it could start year 1. I do again. So I say Ashton Genty, but I won't be surprised if it's Matthew Golden coming out of nowhere and being this, just as his number 1 target up there with Love. So we'll see.
I'm going with Travis Hunter. Defensive rookie of the year.
Let me guess. Wait, I know your offensive pick. Go ahead, say it. Go ahead, be objective and say it.
Cam Ward.
This is so obvious.
Okay, I thought he was going straight beyond Henderson.
Wait, who did you say?
He said Cam Ward. All right.
Oh, he
Fair
surprised me too.
I thought it was. We even said, in fact, what we said before the show when we were talking, we were like, he's definitely going Travion Henderson.
We both thought he was going to pick Travion Henderson.
I'm not gonna put too much pressure on the guy, dude. I'm gonna I'm gonna let it play out.
Yeah, because he's sitting in the huddle saying, I gotta do really good because Javi thinks I'm gonna win it.
Exactly. He's like,
Yeah.
come Monday.
He doesn't want to let you
12
down,
o'clock.
bro. He doesn't want to let you down, Hobbs.
I know. I don't want to put too much pressure on him.
I get it.
But I think Cam Ward's the most like. I don't see Ashton Genty getting Rookie of the Year this year because I think that offensive line in Las Vegas is just terrible. I don't think he's going to be able to have.
I think he'll still be able to make. I think he'll still be able to make something happen out of it. And again, if it's not, I think Matthew Golden is going to be a huge addition.
I think Cam Ward is built for this. He's shown us through this whole draft process like he's ready to be the quarterback of the future, franchise quarterback. I think he's going to be able to show that he was levels ahead of college football players last year and that he was built for this. And I think they win at least 4 games next year. I think him and Calvin Ridley have a good little connection. Calvin Ridley is a great wide receiver to have as your first go-to guy.
That's fair.
So
that's fair.
I think Cam Ward's the easy pick, but playing it safe there. And Travis Hunter, the best defensive player coming out of the draft last year, won a Heisman Trophy for everything that he did on the field, but defensively is really where he shined.
Undeserved Heisman Trophy, for what it's worth.
Yeah, Genty should have won the Heisman Trophy.
Should have been Genty, 100%.
No way. You don't give a Heisman to a guy that's playing on a blue football field. That should tell you that it's not real football going on.
I mean, I don't. He could play on sand and he still would have.
Colorado, bro.
Yeah. His wife is spectacular, though. God bless him.
Travis Hunter's wife?
Oh, his new wife. God bless you.
You haven't heard?
You haven't seen his wife? She's gorgeous.
Oh, we have. That's the whole story about Travis Hunter.
What's up, Matt Force? Over on Twitch.
Twitch?
Yeah, it's on Twitch.
What up,
Thank you for joining us over on Twitch. We don't get as many hits on Twitch, so I appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, that's why I kind of like had a double take on that.
Yeah, like
when Colorado came down to UCF last year, I saw them play and I saw Travis Hunter literally hit the Heisman in fucking end zone right in front of me and catch a pick. But I was looking for his girlfriend at the time. I was trying to see.
Yeah, they were only dating at the time. But
you kind of got
yourself wrapped up there. Himself to win.
She's a nice lady. Hey, you got a campaign, but I think he's going to be better defensively than offensively. I think he's going to be fantastic defensively. I think he'll be really, really good in the league. I just love Malachi Starks on defense. I think he's going to be the team. Let me put it this way: he's in a perfect situation for his skill set. He could have went to another team. I think this is the team that they were made for each other.
Yeah, those guys that get put in those systems that just like they're basically seamless, and they're gonna be playing on primetime games, and the world's gonna be watching, and they're gonna be making plays. I think it's hard to go against players like that.
100%.
Not a lot of people are gonna be watching Jacksonville and Tennessee games. That's just.
I mean, I will, but
But
I get what you're saying.
The more casual fan is going to be watching those Sunday night games and those Ravens games for sure.
Cam Ward is going to be. I think Cam Ward is going to be a lot better than people are giving him credit for it. But I think he's going to be.
I think he's going to be good. I still think he'll be a great pro. I think he'll be a good pro. I think he's a starter.
He doesn't get nearly enough hype.
Yeah,
for a number one pick, he doesn't get talked about at all.
He's got to step it up a notch. I think he's kind of just cruised through like being with how good he is.
That's a blessing though to not be talked about like that though, to kind of fly under the radar. Because you're right, he really hasn't been, because you got so many other guys that have like this stardom is like a Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter has a stardom to him that because he played both ways, because he played with under Dion, that he's put under this like spotlight. That's going to make it easier for Cam Ward to kind of be able to handle it his rookie year. I just don't think he's that great. I think he's good. I think he's a starter in this league. I think he'll be top 15, top 20, but I don't think he's ever going to be like a top 5, top 10 quarterback.
Bro, they made him like a 71 overall at Madden.
I don't know if that's good or not, but
you got to put him. You got to put some pieces around him and then give him a fair shot. But I mean, there's not too much other than Calvin Ridley he's going to be working with.
is somebody in that room, Rob?
Oh,
Is somebody in the room?
yeah, I'm in the room.
Never mind.
I mean, you asked, bro. I answered.
I wanted a legit question or a legit answer, not like an idiot answer. But all right, what else we got?
All right, we're going to do a little.
Feel about how? Wait, real quick. How do we feel about ESPN taking over NFL Network's Red Zone?
They're just doing it for money, bro.
Obviously, they're doing it for money. It's costing
ESPN
billions
ruins
of dollars.
everything they touch.
Not everything,
ESPN
but who do you
ruins
think?
everything they touch?
Do you think in charge? Like, are we going to get new hosts?
No,
So they leave it the same?
I think they'll pay him. Yeah, I forget his name.
No, I know what you're talking about, but yeah, you don't think it's going to be like that all of a sudden you're going to have like Greenberg on it or Stephen A. Smith?
Sure as hell hope not. Hopefully they just leave it how it is, take their subscribers' money and just move on.
Fair enough. I listen, I don't want to see Stephen A. Smith do it either. He's too I'm tired. I don't want to hear about how he's friends with every single guy that catches the touchdown. I don't need to hear it. Just, I hope they keep it the exact way it is. And now they let him profit off it. That's fine. Let him make some money. But we'll see.
Stephen A. is best friends with whoever he's had it been in a text chain with. That's his best friend.
He's best friends with everybody. He loves everybody. He's best friends with everybody.
They have Red Zone and Inside the NBA now.
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't ruin them.
Good old Mickey Mouse. All right, let's do a little bounce back segment. Talk if these guys are gonna little redemption talk here. We'll go over Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love, Breece Hall, and Travis Etienne. We'll start with McCaffrey. Is he set to make a bounce back this year? The Madden curse is off. No Madden cover for McCaffrey right now. But yes or no? Just keep it simple and give your take on it.
That's a loaded question. What happened?
You could start.
I was going to say it's a loaded question because I think he'll be better than last year, but I don't think he'll be the McCaffrey that we remember. But I think he puts up better numbers than last year. So I don't call it a complete bounce back.
So instead of being the number one running back, where are you putting him at?
I mean, he's going to get drafted high probably just because of name, but I just, I don't know. I don't trust him to stay healthy. I don't trust him to – that offense is not the same. We're hearing that a lot of people are saying that Trent Williams is having one of his worst camps as a pro. I mean, he's also like a gazillion years old. So I don't know what to expect from that offensive line. I don't know what to expect from Brock Purdy not having some of his receivers there. Deebo's gone. Juwan Jennings has been banged up in camp. Is he going to be ready to go? We know Ayuk's not going to be ready to go. So, I don't know really what to expect from the 49ers this year. So, I got to say he'll be better than last year. I just don't think – I think now is where we see the downside of McCaffrey. I think this is where we see the downslope going forward. I think this is that second half of his career.
I think it's just a question of whether or not he's going to stay healthy. If he's healthy, he'll have a good year. But like Gene said, you can't really count on him to stay healthy. So we'll see. Hopefully he plays double-digit games at least.
I think he'll be back to his top 3 self. I don't think he's going to be number 1, but I think that he gets a whole off season to kind of rest up on this injury. I don't think he really was able to fully recover from his injury at any point last year. And he was just kind of going out there just because they had to shut him down, but he was trying to make any attempt because San Francisco just couldn't get their wheels rolling. So they kind of needed him out there on the field, but
agree.
I think he's going to bounce back. I think Shanahan and McCaffrey and Brock Purdy, that's the trio that they need to build around. And they're going to have that connection and chemistry. And that guy's going to catch balls out the backfield. He's going to be running the rock, doing those stretch plays. I don't see him taking too much of a step back at all.
We'll see. And if it doesn't work out, go back home to that finance web business and start working on baby number 2.
She is top tier.
I mean, she's not Miss Hunter, but she's up there.
You're right. Let's move on to we'll stay. I mean, Debo's not in San Fran anymore, but what do you think about Debo in Washington? You think he bounces back? Gene's a big fag now.
Back, and I mean, what's a bounce back for Debo? Because if we're being honest, he only really has one good season.
Yeah,
he's an incredibly overrated player. He had that 1 year where he had like 1,400 yards.
He does. At the time, though, he was doing other things that made him valuable.
He runs too,
and that's what I think. That's why I think he's kind of washed now because they ran him so much back in the day. I think he's not
between the running and the receiving, with both of them combined. I don't think he's ever been as good as people say he is. Besides that one season in 2021, he's just incredibly overrated.
I agree.
It's hard not to look good in the Shanahan offense sometimes.
That too.
Yeah.
He's an evil genius when it comes to the offense. But I don't think he's going to I think Washington's gonna hate the fact that they make that trade. And that's the reason why I think they need to sign McLaurin so badly, is because if you could put Debo as number 2 and McLaurin as number 1, then maybe maybe Debo looks better. But if Debo is your number 1, man, because McLaurin's not there, you got problems, my friend.
Yeah, I don't
understand.
You're
regression by Jaden Daniels for sure.
I'm not buying the whole people saying that he's been in the pantry eating a bunch of snacks all summer.
I don't know about that. I don't care about that. I just know this. I know he's taken a lot of hits over his career, and he needs to not be the number 1 receiver anywhere at this point. He needs to be a number 2. San Francisco knew what they were doing, man. They knew what they were doing. They got rid of him at the right time.
Yeah.
That's the one thing you can say about San Francisco is their front office is a smart front office, and they knew what they were doing.
You just got to get him in open space, and then he's a bowling ball out there. It's kind of hard to bring him down. That's where he thrives, is that run after the catch and yards after contact for sure.
Yeah.
All day long. Aaron Rodgers.
If McLaurin stays in Washington, then Debo will have a good year.
He'll have an okay year.
Yeah. I agree. He'll be better than
said. He has to be the wide receiver 2. He's just not a wide receiver 1.
No.
Zach Ertz will put up more numbers than Debo, even if they have McLaurin.
I could see that, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it could be.
That'll be their number 2 guy.
So we all agree Debo is not that guy.
No. I'll let you guys go at it, have your little moment. Is Aaron Rodgers going to have a bounce back year this year? Not to MVP caliber years, but is he going to
serviceable quarterback?
Yes.
He probably won't even play more than 10 games.
What makes you say that, bro?
Because he's the stiff and he's a bum. And he's me first. He might miss a game or 2 because he had a trip planned to go to see the Great Wall of China, and it's going to conflict with a game. Who knows? Maybe a ayahuasca retreat. Who knows? But he's a me first guy, and he is your problem now. And you'll see, because you guys are going to get 6 wins.
I agree that he's a me first guy. Well, come on, bro. It's you said any quarterback to the Jets. Anybody that goes to the Jets, they're just going there to die. Let's be honest. Your team, the New York Jets, one of the worst organizations in all of sports.
We used to be. I don't think we are anymore. We used to be. I don't think we are anymore. The Black Cloud is now left this year.
You said last year that they were going to make it to the playoffs and maybe make it to the Super Bowl.
So yeah, and that's what Jet fans do. They always they're always given this glimmer of hope that never turns out to be. It's oh, we got a great quarterback, but he gets hurt on the 4th play of the season. This year, we had our quarterback in practice, and on the first day of practice, gets carted off the field. Every sports show in the country stopped what they were doing so they could put up an emergency red flash and say, Justin Fields carted off practice field. Everyone thought it was Achilles, something crazy, because it was a non-contact issue. You find out the next day, the man got his toe stepped on. That's it. He's good
Aaron
to go.
Rodgers is not on.
Hold on. He's good to go. Last year, that would have been an Achilles injury. That's how karma worked out last year. Last year, the same situation, it would have been an Achilles injury, season over. The black cloud is lifted. Aaron Glenn is now the guy that is bringing us to this new millennium of Jet fandom. It's safe to be a Jet fan again. We don't have to worry about getting hurt. I don't mean the players getting hurt, but us hurt as like emotionally hurt. It's a whole new beginning for Jet fans. Guys, trust me when I tell you, Jet fans out there, it's okay to be a Jet fan. You don't have to worry about getting hurt no more. We're good.
You should hide. If you're a Jets fan, just keep that to yourself.
Listen,
hide.
That's a Patriot fan talking. A misguided, biased Patriots fan talking. I'm telling you right now, guys, it's safe to be a Jet fan again. Maybe for the first time in 60 years. Last year, that black cloud says it's here he is. Well, at least he showed up somewhere.
Josh missed his alarm clock this morning, I'm guessing, and wants to tune into the show. I appreciate it, Josh.
And he's right. I seen Rodgers up close and personal, bro. Again,
Bro, you see Rodgers on the Jets. That's the thing. He's not on the Jets anymore.
So
I'm not saying he's going to be an MVP. Shut the hell up. I'm not saying he's going to be the MVP.
You're telling me the Steelers. So wait,
he's going to be
hear me
better
out
than he was last year.
So going to the Steelers organization makes somebody better?
No, not being on the Jets makes somebody better.
We'll see, bro. We'll see.
And we've seen it, bro. We've seen it for years.
Okay.
What about your buddy Sam Darnold? As soon as he got out of New Jersey, he became
not as soon as he didn't. He went to Carolina, sucked in Carolina, went to San Francisco, didn't even play in San Francisco. Went to Minnesota and then got better because somebody coached him up. I had called that from before, so I had already called that. Same thing with Geno Smith. Geno Smith had stops before he got to Pete Carroll, where he still sucked. But got to Pete Carroll got something out of him. So my thing is this, man. And again, I think there was a black cloud over the Jets fans, over the Jets team for years. I don't think it's there anymore. I think now we actually have gotten past this thing where karma has picked the bones of the Jets and just destroyed us. I don't think we're there anymore. I think we're now at a space in time where the Jets are actually going to be the Jets are going to matter.
They're going to be.
It has nothing to do with the players. It has nothing to do.
They're not going to do.
It has nothing to do with the players. It has nothing to do with the players. It has nothing to do with anything other than we've gone through our 60 years of misery, and now this is our chance to kind of the tables have turned. The cloud is lifted. It's went somewhere else, and again, bad luck is what the Jets have had for 60 years. That same bad luck curse that had everyone thinking that Aaron Rodgers was taken to the Super Bowl 3 years ago, only to get hurt on the fourth play. That same bad luck curse would have had Justin Fields when he went down on the first day of practice be something crucially serious, and it wasn't. It was his toe that got stepped on. That is part of that juju, that karma, whatever you want to call it, the mystique, the magic, whatever. It's part of it changing. And now, I'm telling you right now, you guys can talk all this stuff you want. I won't even respond to it because I don't have to respond to it because we'll see over the next 5 years, the Jets will win a Super Bowl within 5 years. And if you're going to say that they can't is ridiculous because anything can happen in 5 years.
I'll grant you three wishes like the genie in Aladdin if they win the Super Bowl in 5 years.
You couldn't grant those wishes because what I want is otherworldly. I'll take a steak dinner. I'll even have it at the place we work at so you can get a discount on it. I'll even do that.
Delusion coming from your mouth, I just can't take it anymore.
Let's move on to the next subject because I
can't believe you actually believe it.
Move on.
Jordan Love, what do you think about? No, let's stick with the Jets. Breece Hall. Let's go to Breece Hall. You think he bounces back this year? Because
I think he is what he is.
What is that?
I mean, I don't think he bounces back. I don't think we've ever seen him be really, really, really good. I think we've thought he was going to be really, really, really good. But the guy's never ran for 1,000 yards. I think this is his last year as a Jet. I don't even know if he finishes the year as a Jet. I could see him getting traded. I think Braylon Allen is going to step up and be the guy. But they could give it a year just to see if they can get that signed knuckles kind of deal out of it. And they might. He might be decent. But I don't think he's the back that we all thought every year since he got drafted he's going to be. Every year since he's gotten drafted, he's been like a big-time pick in fantasy football just because he can do everything. He can catch, he can run. But there was a lot of games out there last year where he left a lot of yards out there on the field where he could, 30-yard games. Like, star running backs do not have 30-yard rushing games. Star running backs don't rush for less than 1,000 yards a season. He hasn't even rushed for 1,000 yards this season. So I don't think he's ever been that guy to say he would be bouncing back. If he had a great year this year, that would be the first great year he's had.
Rob, how many yards do you think the most Breece Hall has ran for?
996.
Is that he's
994. That's how
Yeah.
Gene is making a big deal out of 6 yards. Like he's basically ran for 1,000 yards, dude.
He hasn't ran for 1,000 yards.
And he had 600 receiving yards that year.
And let me say this: 1,000 yards ain't great either in 17 season. In a 17-game season.
I've seen Najee Harris put up 1,000 yards every year of his career, and I hated that guy.
Well,
if you did that in your second season in the NFL, you think you have a future? Come on.
No, running backs are guys that should be able to hit the ground running from day one. That much of a system.
I don't think me and Gene can agree on anything when it comes to the Jets, because I actually think Breece Hall is going to have a good year. And to say that it would be his first good year is insane, bro. 994 rushing yards with 600 receiving yards is a great year.
It's a great year.
That's a good year.
That's a great year.
Great.
That's over 1,500. That's over 1,500 all-purpose yards.
And he didn't even hit 1,000.
Not only that, over 1,500 all-purpose yards while playing for the Jets. So imagine if he wasn't on the Jets. That's like an automatic extra couple hundred yards just from not being on that dog shit organization.
Now let's talk like we know what we're talking about, and not just like fandom stuff. He didn't even rush for 1,000 yards. That's only that you can't say someone's a great running back if they didn't even rush for 1,000 yards. You want to say you're 6 yards off, and what's the big deal? All right, well, yeah, he was 106 yards off from 1,100. Point is, he didn't get 1,000 yards.
Well, he had 76 catches that same year. He had 76 catches that year.
He was phenomenal out of the backfield catching the ball. I don't get you, but he wasn't able to rush the ball like a star.
Because your offensive line is terrible.
Whatever it may be, man. There's a lot of star running backs that have bad offensive lines.
It was. I don't think he's gonna go crazy this year, but we're gonna get a normal Breece Hall year: 10 touchdowns, 1,500 scrimmage yards, not 70 catches, maybe in like 50 range. But I think that's a good season for Breece Hall.
It's a good season.
He's not gonna have a crazy year because he's on the Jets.
If you want to talk like you're uneducated about football, then go right ahead. I thought you'd probably ball, but I guess he doesn't. He'll get
personal now.
He'll get less. No, I'm not. I'm being honest. He just wants to put fandom stuff in there, and that's fine, but it makes no sense. It's talk
it's not even about fandom, bro. Even if you're saying he's not going to be good because he's on the Jets.
That means you're saying he's not going to be good because he's on the Jets. Give me a reason why he's not going to be good. Don't just say because of the jersey he wears. Give me a real reason. He's got an improved offensive line. Here's why he's not going to be good.
There's a history of
Jets running back in the last 15 years.
You could have said the same thing about the Patriots going into the year 2001. You could say the same thing about the Detroit Lions 3 years ago.
Well, the Patriots were at least like making it to the Super Bowl though before 2000.
They made it one time to the Super Bowl, twice to the Super Bowl. They got obliterated in 1 year, and they got they kind of got beat the hell out of the other one too. Point is they weren't really a historical franchise. They were kind of a joke of a franchise.
The
As
New
soon as I was
Jersey
born,
Jets.
though, we started winning Super Bowls.
So my thing is
The
this
New
too
Jersey Jets
is
made
he's
the
also going to
playoffs.
be he's also going to be sharing carries in the backfield with Braylon Allen. Braylon Allen's going to, I think, step up and be a huge part of this offense this year. So that there alone also takes a lot of carries and catches away from Brees. I also think they have Isaiah Davis, who could also catch the ball out of the backfield, who's going to be taking away plays from Brees. So and you got a quarterback that's going to run. There's going to be designed runs for the quarterback. So there's going to be a lot of reasons why, besides the fact that I just don't think it's there, that you're going to see the numbers not be there for him, because there's going to be other people to give the ball to. More than
It's gonna suck. The Jets coming down by 3 touchdowns and have to throw the ball every single time.
Okay, Patriots fan. Okay, Steelers fan.
And
I can't believe I'm sitting here saying that I'm the Jet fan saying that my guy is not going to be that good this year, and you guys will disagree with me only because. But then you say he's going to be great this year, but he's a Jet, so he won't be good. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
no,
That
I'm
makes
saying
sense.
him being
You're doing
on
a great job
him
of proving
being
your
on
point.
He's gonna be
You're doing a great job proving your point that he's going to be really good this year. He's going to have a bounce back year, but he won't be good because he's a Jet. Okay, that proves my.
He's going to be good because he's a really talented player, but him being on the Jets is what's holding him back from reaching his full potential.
Okay. Well, let's move on because this makes no sense.
All right. Well, I want to
Well,
move
it
on
makes
to
perfect
coaches.
sense, bro.
Okay, keep going.
Um,
Your only point is he's on the Jets. Okay. I know a
You had
5-year-old.
two of them.
I know a 5-year-old that
You
can
had
argue.
two of them with the Jets fan.
I know a 5-year-old that can give me the same argument. Guess what? He's an idiot too. Let's move on.
all right. I
I'd be
want to talk
mad
about
too
a
if I
couple
was a Jets
coaches.
fan.
I want to talk if these guys, basically if it's a make or break year for these guys, Brian Dable, Mike McDaniel, and Zach Taylor. I think those 3 guys are kind of on the hot seat to kind of either prove it or lose it this year. So let's start with Mike McDaniel. Do you think at the end of the season he'll still be with the Dolphins? Do you think he'll make his kind of turn things around and make his mark back again here in Miami?
Mike McDaniel, I think is going to be gone. I think they have a bad season this year. I think they implode, man. I think there's been too much underwhelming performances as a team. I wouldn't say individually, because they've had some good individual performances. Obviously, Tyreek a couple of years ago, but I think that this year is the year where they just say, "Hey, we need to move on." I think he's another guy, tremendous offensive coach, offensive genius. But I just don't think he has a good command of the team. And this is a team that they can't win. If the weather's under 50 degrees, they just don't win, man. I know that's been a Miami problem for years, but I just don't think it works, man. I think they need to figure something out, and I think it's not going to include Mike McDaniel going forward.
Rob, what's your take on that?
They think that they're going to have a bad year, and then they're going to use Mike McDaniel as the scapegoat and get rid of him, even though I don't think he's the problem.
Do you think he can succeed as a head coach somewhere? I think he's I think he's a fantastic offensive coordinator. I just don't think he's a head coach.
I think he would do fine with a different quarterback other than Tua.
I mean, that hurts, but I don't think it's
problem is just health. Like this dude Tua's every time the Dolphins start making a run, this dude Tua gets injured. Every time.
I think he'll
We've
be
already
somewhere as
seen
an
how they
offensive
look
coordinator.
back on the Vikings.
I think he'll get another shot as a head coach somewhere, but I think he's gonna have to be a defensive. I think he'll have to be an offensive coordinator again first, then almost like Josh McDaniel, and then he'll have to pull back again. I think he'll be like North Turner. North Turner. A couple people tried him as a head coach. He just wasn't that great as a head coach, but offensive coordinator North Turner was one of the best. I think he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be somebody that would look at like that.
I would take him as my offensive coordinator for sure.
What do you guys think about Brian Dable? I think like because he drafted Jackson Dart this year, that kind of buys him a little bit of time because he has a rookie quarterback to be able to kind of fall back on and say that
100%.
he needs to develop. But
I 100% wholeheartedly agree with you. I think unless they go 1-16 or like 2-15, I think he's got next year already. I think they've already said to him, we're going to be patient. But we need to see that there's some improvement from game 1 to game 17. I think as long as they can show that they're getting better, he's safe. Because I don't know how much Jackson Dart's going to play this year anyway. I think it's all going to be about his development. So I think he's got to know he's already got year 2 in the bank. Mm-hmm. So we're not year 2, but from this point, next another year. Yeah. So I think he's actually going to stick around. I think he actually has it. Whether or not he deserves it or not is another story. But I do think the Giants are going to keep him. I think the only thing that gets him fired this year is like 3 wins or less.
They have a tough schedule, so I could see that.
I think they have the toughest in the NFL. But again, there's going to be I think he's guaranteed another shot. There's only so much though the ownership can hide with him if the fans are that crazy. If they get 3 wins or less, the fans are going to be so bad. I think that they almost got to say like they get look like they know what they're doing and have to move on from it. But
I'm interested because I don't think he's really done too much for the franchise. And it's going to be interesting how they play out that quarterback situation between Jameis, Russ, and you have your Jackson Dart, who's supposed to be your quarterback for the future.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested in that. I hope they just hand the keys over to Jackson Dart pretty early and just.
I don't think they will. I'm not saying they shouldn't. I'm not saying they shouldn't. I got to see more. We'll look at the preseason. We'll see it, how he looks on the field, right? Playing against the professionals. But I don't think they will. I think Russell Wilson is going to give them the ability to not. I think they can still win like 6-7 ball games this year with Russell Wilson.
I think if they go like 0-4 the first like start of the season, you might as well just throw Jackson Dart in there. Let him get reps.
Yeah, maybe.
Let him develop. Rob, what do you think?
I don't think they're going to start off that bad. And like Gene said, I think the Giants will probably be like around a 6-win team maybe. And that'll probably buy Dable at least 1 more year.
Yeah, with a young quarterback.
If you're a Giants fan, you're probably better off if Jackson Dart takes over the starting spot as early as possible.
Yeah, because I don't think he's like, even if you start him, I don't think he's going to do all that great. But he's got to start somewhere. Kind of similar to what Drake May did last year. Is we started off with Jacoby Brissett. Brissett wasn't terrible, but he wasn't the best. And then you got to kind of throw your pick out there to kind of see what you got.
Yeah.
At some point.
I don't think it even mattered with Joe. There's nothing Jacoby Brissett could have done last year that would have kept him or would have kept Drake May off the field.
That's true.
The game plan was always to play Drake May. It would have determined maybe how long they would have waited. But I don't think even if he played really, really well, they would have came up with a reason. It's kind of like what they did with Eli Manning and Kurt Warner. Kurt Warner actually wasn't that bad for the Giants those first few weeks before they put Eli Manning in to start. I think it was like week 5 or something. I think they were like 3-2.
I never even knew Kurt Warner played for the Giants.
Yeah, Kurt Warner was their starting quarterback. They got him.
Showing your age here.
Well, I was around. Back then. So I don't even know. You might not even have been alive. Eli Manning wasn't didn't start the season, but they put him in by like week 6 or something like that. And again, they weren't playing that badly. They weren't great, but they weren't playing poorly enough where they needed to get rid of Kurt Warner, but they decided to go with that route. I think it's something very similar with Drake May last year. I think they were always going to play Drake May. They just didn't want to just throw him in week 1, let him get acclimated a little bit. And then when they felt like he was ready to start him, not really had anything to do with Jacoby Brissett. Because I think Jacoby Brissett I would love to have him as a backup on the Jets. I think he's a fantastic quarterback as far as backup. And I think he's great I think he's great in the locker room for a young quarterback. So yeah, I would love to have him in a Jet uniform.
And then we'll end off with Zach Taylor, and then we'll wrap up. So Zach Taylor just barely. I thought he was going to get fired last year, but gets another year this year to kind of make or break for the Bengals. I don't think that they're going to blow the team up, but you kind of can see the writing on the wall with Trey Hendrickson doing his hold in now, right? Is he in?
It's a hold in. Yeah, it's a hold in, I believe. I believe you're right.
I know he was in Florida for a while. He was posting that he wasn't even in Ohio, so he was making that like kind of known. But
I think he's there now. I could be wrong, but I think he's there now.
He is there now too. I think I saw that. But Zach Taylor, what do you think? You think that? I mean, they have all the tools to be able to have a good season this year, but if they fail, I think he's out of there. What do you guys think?
I think it's inevitable. They're not better than the Ravens, so what can they do? Like that, unfortunately, they're just in a tough spot because they are in a division with a team that is obviously better than them. So there's only so much they can. There's only so much winning they can do. You know, I
don't know if it's so much obviously better than them. They had 2 great games last year.
Fair, but the Ravens, but they can't. At the end of the day, though, the Ravens are a better team. They're not going to win. They're not going to win the division. They'll probably make the playoffs, but they'll probably leave early in the playoffs.
Yeah, and
it's just one of those things where it's like they have a team that could win in most areas. Unfortunately, it was like the Knicks with the Bulls in the '90s. Man, we had a great team. The Knicks had a great team, but the Bulls had Michael Jordan at the time, and they unfortunately just ran to Michael Jordan. You know, the Bengals have a really good team. Unfortunately, they're playing in the era of Mahomes and Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. And those teams just happen to be better than theirs. You know, again, go back 10 years and maybe the Bengals are a better team, you know, than everybody else in the conference. But right now they're running into 3 teams that are just better than them. And, you know, that's a tough hurdle. And because of that, Zach Taylor, who's not a bad coach, is probably going to lose his job because you're going to break up the coach before you break up the team, right? Yes. So that's kind of what it is. You know, unfortunately for Zach Taylor, he's probably going to go either be a coach somewhere else or back to being a coordinator somewhere else. But he'll be the first person that they decide to move on from when this doesn't work again. And it's not only because it's not them. It's almost like it's not them, it's us. You know, it's not them, it's the Bills. It's not them, it's the Ravens. So, but we'll see. I don't think he's there after this year, though. I think this is the year they finally move on, even if they have a winning season.
Kind of with Javi, I feel like the Bengals honestly can beat any of those teams. They just need literally out of their defense because their offense is going to put up points. They're going to score over 30 points a game. If they get anything from their defense, they just need.
It's going to be tough because I don't know if Hendricks. That's going to be tough because we'll see what happens with Hendrickson.
Because
if history has proven anything, it's proven guys that hold out for contracts typically don't come back and have big years. It happens sometimes. Like Emmitt Smith back in like the '90s. It doesn't happen a lot. You know, we've seen Hassan Reddick come back and be very mediocre last year. We've seen Ayuk do it and be very mediocre until he got hurt. We see it all the time. Guys come back and they're just mediocre. I don't think Trey Hendrickson comes back and Chris Jones. This again, and I said it happens sometimes, but I would say 8 times out of 10 that player comes back and is meh because they're just not up to speed, and it's hard to catch up. I feel like Trey Hendrickson is not a guy that's going to come back and be great if he does come back to the team. And again, yeah, they can beat those teams just like any given Sunday. I just think that those other teams just are better though. And I think when it's really crunch time, when it's a really big game, I think those teams can beat them when it's a big game and a lot on the line. Can the Bengals sneak out a win against the Ravens in like a Week 7 game? Yeah, probably. They can do that.
I can't believe like their defense sometimes just has to get maybe 2 stops a game. The offense is putting up 35 to 40 points every single game.
Joe Burrow can honestly outsling any of those 3 quarterbacks.
He could. He could.
But their defense is just so bad.
They lost by combined 4 points to the Ravens last year. They lost 1 game in overtime, which was like the thriller halfway through the season, like
Mhm.
4 o'clock game, and then they had that night game, and the Ravens won by 1 point.
Didn't Jamar Chase have like over 200 yards one of those games with like 3 touchdowns and they lost?
I think you're right.
So it's just like you just got to get a timely stop in crunch time, and these are winnable games for them. And I think that they give themselves a chance if they make a playoff wild card spot that they can beat any of those teams. We saw it when they made the fucking Super Bowl. So
They're the only team that's beaten Mahomes in the playoffs in the AFC. And honestly, if the Bengals play the Bills, I'm not sure if I'm taking the Bills, honestly. I trust Joe Burrow more than I trust Josh Allen.
I agree. All right. Well, you guys have any last thoughts before we let everybody go?
Steelers are going to the Super Bowl.
All right. We're gonna end on that bullshit, but it was good. Good show today, boys.
I had a good time joining you guys, man. Wish Josh was here so I could have gotten into Josh a little bit too, but I'll stick with just getting into Rob, proving him wrong.
It's all good. We were glad to have you. We'll have the show back next week. We'll be 1 week closer to football season.
Yes.
We're almost there, guys. I can taste it. We'll talk a little baseball in a couple weeks too, because it's gonna start ramping up, and we'll get to your Yankees and these Red Sox. But
Red Sox they're ahead of the Yankees.
I know this.
August 30th, Texas and Ohio State, week 1 of the college football season.
It's gonna be beautiful.
I feel
and
like
then I believe the day after is the Miami and Notre Dame, right? The day after, 31st.
Yeah, Miami, Notre Dame.
I'm getting hard just thinking about it, guys. Stop talking to me like this.
Texas, Ohio State, man. Week 1. What did we do to deserve this? I just seen they put out the coaches poll, the first coaches poll, the college football season. They put it out about 15 minutes ago. It was Texas number 1, followed by Ohio State, Penn State number 3, Georgia number 4, and Notre Dame number 5.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun season this year.
All right.
We'll talk. I was about to get into some college football, but that'll keep us here another hour. So
we'll get into that next week. But
there's more time for that.
All right, good show, boys. I'll see you guys later.
Let's see if Rob knows what he's doing. Peace.
Bro, I'm not gonna disappear for you like 15 minutes.
Close us out, Rob.